Welcome back to The Takeout. Today, President Trump said, quote, "We'll have to just finish the job if peace talks with Iran don't improve or make more progress." Secretary of State Marco Rubio, he's also the National Security Advisor, we should remind ourselves, appeared to underscore that possibility. Listen.
If there's an agreement to be made, we want that to be made. I think there's been some progress and some interest, and we'll see over the next few hours and days whether progress could be made. I just want to remind everybody, Mr. President, you know this well, you have other options available to you if that doesn't work.
CBS News national security contributor Joe Zacks joins me now. He's a friend of the program. He's also an adjunct fellow at the Foundation for Defense of Democracy. So, when the Secretary of State and National Security Advisor sitting next to the president says you have other options, we all know what he means. What does that suggest? That negotiations are still the preferred option, or that we could restart all this?
So, well, first of all, Major, it's an honor to be on your show on the first anniversary, and thank you for having me on as a guest. So with respect to your question, I think that the preferred option is actually a negotiated settlement. I think the president has communicated that clearly time and again. But he has to keep up the pressure, and I think we saw that over the weekend with the self-defense strikes that CENTCOM conducted against an Iranian regime that was laying mines in the Strait of Hormuz, which is hardly an act of good faith during a period of a ceasefire. But the president has shown tremendous strategic patience. We're now 7 weeks into a 2-week ceasefire. So I think that he wants to continue on that path, but there's a limit. The Strait of Hormuz has to be opened up and
unconditionally, no tolls. Even though that means that if it's open and there are no tolls, Iran still makes money from that. But they won't make extra money by tolling the vessels that flow through.
Right. I think there's limited possibility that the president politically, and I don't think that's the direction he wants to go, support an Iran and or an Iran-Oman venture to charge tolls through the Strait of Hormuz. So that's number one. And number two is there has to be a satisfactory resolution of the nuclear file.
With clear-cut deadlines and enforcement and some resolution of what happens to the highly enriched uranium. Those seem to be key.
That's absolutely correct, Major. That's why we went into this venture, and this is the United States' legacy, and it's the president's legacy. And I don't think that this can be resolved satisfactorily for the American public with the United States leaving in a weakened position. And it strikes me that that's not the president's intent. There's a lot of speculation about what is being discussed with respect to this MOU. Some of it is informed speculation. Some of it may be spin that...
right. Both sides are kind of spinning. The Iranians are spinning. The Americans are spinning. We still don't know any of the hard details.
That's right. And the devil will be in the details. And the Iranian regime, I would say, are devils. And they are very hard negotiators. And so I suspect that we will see a lot more of to and fro before we achieve an actual MOU and or long-term settlement.
Remember, MOU stands for Memorandum of Understanding. Joe Zacks, I appreciate the time as always.